Hello, I'm Scotty O,
And I'm Melanie.
and we're with Ecstatic Hearts Tantra. Welcome to the first of our Tantra Talks.
This is our first Facebook Live video.
We're excited because this is going to be a series of discussions every Tuesday, and we're basically going to talk about all sorts of things Tantra. So each one's going to have a topic. We're also going to give you a little bit of a lesson or something to take home with you and practice, and also to opportunity for you guys to ask questions and for us to answer for you and see how we can build ourselves as a community. So, without further ado, what is Tantra? That's the topic of tonight. How would you like to start, sweetie?
Yeah. I'll get started with a basic definition of what the word Tantra means. It's a Sanskrit word, and it means the interweaving of parts. So what that means is it's an integrative practice. So integrating all of our body, all of ourselves together, integrating all the different aspects of our life together. It's seen as the tapestry that the many threads of our life create. It is interweaving of our sex, our pleasure, our root, our source of security, our power center and source of confidence. It's our love mixed together with our wisdom and our spirit. Interweaving sexuality with spirituality. Interweaving our masculine with our feminine selves. Interweaving all of the different aspects of ourselves together.
It's also unifying our conscious and our subconscious, and it's interweaving our physical selves with our spiritual selves, and it's pretty dynamic. So it's actually a oneness. That's one of the best ways I like to think about Tantra, and it's a type of yoga, and we'll get into the more specifics here in a second. And I also want you to know, though, that the philosophy of it is a both and all philosophy. It's like it's about having and being and experiencing all that is. It's about recognizing the oneness of all of us as individual human beings, also as just living beings, and just even with being the oneness with all of creation, even rocks and stuff. So it's pretty profound when you really get into it, and it's fun.
Yeah. So another thing of Tantra is it's a path to enlightenment, utilizing our sexual energy to reach higher states of consciousness.
Yeah, Tantra, the words, Sanskrit means interweaving of parts and expansion of consciousness or expansion of self. And so it is definitely a spiritual path. What it is not is it's not a religion. It's not even a belief-based system. There are some philosophies that kind of go along with it, but those are optional. But it's really just basically a practice, just like dancing or martial arts or yoga, it's actually the foundation of most yogas. But it's basically something that you practice, and the more you do it, the better you get. And so I encourage you to, if you start this practice, keep going, because the more you do this seems subtle in the beginning, it seems simple and basic, but these practices are ancient and they're very powerful, and over time they create miraculous results. It's truly extraordinary, and we'll get to that soon. So what else? What does Tantra mean to you? Or better yet, what does Tantra mean to you? So let's talk a little bit about what is the definition when we're talking about yoga. So it's basically movement, sound, visualization, communication, breath, touch, and what else am I missing? Meditation. And it's basically these types of activities. They're used in conjunction with each other. In fact, we use a certain order that was passed down over the generations that we've kind of added to and adjusted ourselves, that basically enables you to have the most powerful impact. And it's quite extraordinary. So so one of the things that makes Tantra different than a lot of other spiritual paths is that it taps into our sexual energy, which is our creative energy. It's a pure life force. It's innocent. It's our connection life force. And that's one of the things that I think gets Tantra a bad name, is people say, oh, it's somehow sexual is bad, which is I think ironic, since sexuality is one of our core ways of creation. It's our highest expression of love. It's I don't think there's anything bad, wrong, or shameful about sex, which is one of the things that I think we are on a quest to change. And then I think Tantra has been kind of forgotten and lost, that it's like you can be spiritual and sexual at the same time. And by unifying these things, it's a really powerful. You want to say anything about that? Like most paths have a kind of a blockage, if you will, can show me, between their upper chakras and their lower chakras. And we have another talk on chakras. But
Tantra helps to interweave and bring back sacredness to sexuality and spirituality back to sexuality.
Yeah, because when you use your thoughts and your heart, but you also have your sexual energy kind of funneling through it. It's actually, you move the energy. It's Kundalini. It's the energy up and down our spine that basically, when you link all these things, when you interweave them, then you have the power of your creative force and creation of self, and guided by the love of your heart and the intellect of your mind. That it's really an amazingly powerful force. So, what else can we tell you about Tantra? What about the history of Tantra? You want to talk about that?
Well, Tantra's been around for a lot longer than the word Tantra from Sanskrit's been around. It's actually been around since the dawn of mankind. There's archaeological evidence around the world in all these different cultures of people utilizing their sexuality as a means for expressing their spirituality and the interweaving of those two together. And breathing practice, movement, integrating movement with breath, with energy, and love, and weaving those all together is an ancient, basic practice. And it's inherent, it's a natural thing that we can do, but most of us have forgotten how. So Tantra helps us to get back to the true essence of who we are, get back to really knowing our true divine spirits, of getting back into our body and living as an embodied being, which is really cool. So many people in today's world, we're taught to think with our heads, to sit down, work at a computer, work at a desk, sit down, not really move, leading a pretty sedentary life. And then when we do start to feel, so often what we're feeling is pain, it's numbness, it's the aches, it's the trauma, it's all this icky stuff that people don't want to feel. And by getting back with Tantra, we're opening up our bodies again, opening up our bodies to touch and expressions of love, and learning how to enjoy ourselves, how to feel pleasure, how to relieve stress, be relaxed, and just meditate in stillness of the mind. Tantra really gets us back into our bodies and experiencing the joys that our bodies have to offer.
So Tantra is about 6,000 years old. When we have the first traces and so forth in the caveman drawings and so forth. And I think it's about 3,000 years ago when it was first written down in Sanskrit, and it's kind of formed into its more, I guess, modern form. And the it's been added to and changed over the centuries. So there's lots of different types of Tantra. In fact, most yoga, as well as things like Qigong and laying of hands and Reiki and energy work, all come from Tantra. Tantra is kind of the origin of a lot of these things, like Hatha yoga and so forth. And so it's a very ancient practice. And again, there's different types of it. Do you want to get into the different types of yoga or different types of Tantra?
Sure. So Tantra is a foundational practice that will go well with many different paths of various other practices. And as far as in today's standards, there's as many different styles of Tantra as there are teachers teaching it. Some general guidelines of Tantra is there's white Tantra, which is more just the energetic movement. I believe Kundalini Yoga is a type of white Tantra, and they typically don't talk about sex or sexuality much within it. And then there's red Tantra, which really focuses more on the sexuality side of things, on sexual practice, direct touch and stimulation, yoni and lingal massage, things like that. And then there's pink Tantra, which is a blending of the two, and sometimes more focuses on the heart and moving out from that.
Yeah, we would say Ecstatic Hearts, which is our organization, and our type of Tantra is pink. So we believe in tapping into and utilizing our sexual energy. It's not something to be ashamed of or to hide or repress. It's something to embrace and really, use for amazing benefits, which we'll get to in a sec. And at the same time, it's still, spiritual. The one thing that Red focuses on, too, is like breaking the law and kind of being a rebel and so forth. Like one of the things he used to do is just do whatever the rules were. that's how the origin of Red Tantra came from, is that they would, try to do the opposite of whatever the norm is. Anyway, so we aren't quite that ambitious, but our goal is to really come from our hearts. What Pink Tantra does is, for us, it's about really just come from love. It's love-based tantra, and sex is a natural expression of that. So we think that that's the for us, it's our ideal path. There's also
and we really like to focus on connection. Once you learn how to connect more deeply into yourself and feel yourself more fully, feel your energy, learn how to connect deeper into your senses, then you can learn how to connect more deeply with your partner and more deeply with everybody you come into relationship with in your life, your family and everyone else whom you ever meet and connect with. And along those lines is learning how to open your heart and feel love and give love and receive love and use loving energy as a source of healing energy for people, yourself, and others.
Yeah, so why don't we get to that? Let's go through the benefits of Tantra, because they're myriad and many. So would you like to start? What are some of the, let's start with one.
Sure. Well, one of the great benefits of Tantra is it relaxes you while at the same time energizing you. So that's something everybody's always surprised about. I'm relaxed and energized.
Yeah, there's a sense of well-being that goes with it, too.
Yeah. So it really helps to relieve stress, relieve anxiety, relieve depression, and get you present to the here and now and stop worrying about the many things that are on your plate in life. Which
is one of the reasons it's so healing, right? Because when you get rid of stress, then our body's natural healing abilities get to go into effect, which unfortunately in our society and culture, we're in stress all the time, and and we get locked down, and it's difficult for our bodies just to do what they're naturally meant to do, which is
when you're stressed out, it's hard to relax into the present moment. It's hard to really connect with your partner. It's hard to open up sexually and feel your pleasure. So Tantra really helps you to get present and to get relaxed while also feeling energized and vibrant and full of life.
So in addition to the sense of well-being, it actually can be used to heal. It's like, again, laying of hands, Reiki, all these and Qigong, all these types of practices evolved out of Tantra, which are basically styles or ways of moving energy and using the energy to increase your blood flow, your circulation, it increases your oxygen. Tantra does all these different things that make your bodies more effective at healing. So it goes way beyond just decreasing stress.
And it also helps you to tap into your divine self and to learn how to tap into the elements, to the earth, to the heavens, and to start channeling that divine energy through your body for the purposes of healing.
Yeah, because when you're healing, it's so one of the ways it heals is like just the actual movement of energy. You can both heal yourself and heal others physically, like actual ailments and so forth, so we can actually improve our healing processes. It also heals from like an emotional standpoint. Our bodies have all sorts of muscle memory, which holds and traps like trauma and fear and guilt and shame and these fear and things that don't serve us necessarily, and especially now if it's trapped from the past. And what we do with Tantra is we're moving energy to our bodies. We're actually opening up and releasing a lot of emotions and a lot of blockages in our body. And the benefits are twofold. One is that when you release that, there's a healing that happens. You can go into forgiveness. You can go into just release, and it's amazing what happens. Sometimes people release things they've been holding on to for a long time, and they'll physically transform in front of your eyes. And that's just from doing like one of our weekends or something. And then there's also just the one that's these blockages are out of our bodies. And all of a sudden the energy can flow more powerfully. And then we have the benefits of energy of blood flow and oxygen and all these other things too, which magnifies the healing process. And so you can use it to heal yourself, you can use it to heal others, you can heal yourself physically, you can heal yourself emotionally, you can also heal yourself spiritually. That's another thing, is like some people, it gets kind of woo, but you can go into like healing past life stuff and healing things from higher self. And sometimes you'll experience things like channeling and stuff too. But anyway, you want to say anything else about healing, or go on to the next thing?
Yeah, we move on.
All right, what about sensitivity? It's one of the things I think is cool is, you become like
Superhero?
Yeah, like Daredevil, except you can see. You know,
It's like it opens up whole nother senses that you might not have even known were there.
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, your actual senses that you're used to become more magnified and will become greater. Like your sense of touch becomes super sensitive. Things smell better. You'll start noticing things you never noticed before.
Sense of taste becomes improved. Foods start tasting amazing.
Colors look brighter. It's really remarkable. I feel like, yeah, you feel almost supernatural sometimes.
The thing that I notice the most is it increases our sensitivity to feeling energy.
Yeah.
And not just your sensitivity, but your conscious awareness of feeling energy. So for those of us who aren't naturally super empathic and don't naturally feel energy, it helps us to learn how to feel energy in our bodies, with our partners, and just outside and around us. And for those people who are already super sensitive and empathic, so to speak, it helps you to gain more conscious awareness and control of that so that you can more consciously be in your body and know what's of your body and know what's of your partner's body and know what's of the room or whatever else is going on and know how to bring your energy back into your body when you want to. Learn your own boundaries better.
Right, and it's, oh, by the way, hello, I won't say people's names, but hello, friend. I haven't seen you in a long time. I'm glad you're listening. But basically, one of the benefits, too, that we have of Tantra is that in addition to all this energy stuff, let's talk a little bit more about energy, because when we talk about energy, when I first heard this, I didn't understand what it was about. I didn't get what people talked about when they had their energy. You know, it's like science has proven that we have energy fields. We have auras. You can take pictures of them. You know, metaphysics has proven that we are just energetic beings and so forth. But the concept of that we can control our energy and use our energy and tap into it was never really taught in school. In fact, it's not taught much of anywhere that I know of. And when you start playing with Tantra, when you start delving into this mystery world, you actually start feeling your energy. You start feeling other people's energy. You start being able to move and direct your energy. You start being able to do like these things. It's like a sixth sense that you didn't know you had. That's why it's almost like radar or something. You can actually tell different people's energies and how they're different. And it can be pretty profound because they can use this energy and do different amazing things with it.
And think about how that improves your love life. I mean, when you can feel the energy of all parts of your lover when you're joined together, and you can feel the energy circulating between your bodies, it just makes your love life this amazingly orgasmic experience, like the whole time. It goes from like achieving an orgasm to being orgasmic, and it truly is amazing.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. This is my favorite benefit of Tantra, is that it really dramatically improves your love life into realms that I did not think was possible.
Yeah.
And like,
talk about fireworks going off, seeing the heavens.
So let me explain the mechanics. But one of the things we're doing, and this is gonna probably make more sense to men, but it's a similar process with women.
It's a similar thing for women.
Is that when you get aroused, and this is the cycle, so to speak, and then you get more and more aroused, and then you'll kind of level off or plateau a little bit. Then you'll have an orgasm, and then you'll go into decline, and then for most of us guys, we go to sleep, right? That's the traditional way to do it. And I think the average time that it takes most Americans to have sex is 7 minutes, is the complete cycle. And the sad part of that is that for most women, it takes about 30 minutes before they're able to get to the point of orgasm. And so one of the cool things...
Just getting into it around 30 minutes.
So the point of Tantra is that one of the things you do is you learn how to separate ejaculation from orgasm. Those are two different things. And most people don't realize that, is that most guys were trained that they're the same thing, that there's no difference. But when you realize that there's two separate things, you can start having orgasms without ejaculating. So then it looks something like this. You'll get excited and you'll have like an energetic orgasm or orgasm without ejaculating, and then you'll be able to continue, and you'll have another one. And you'll continue to have another one. And at first they might not be as powerful because it's something you're not used to, but you'll keep going, keep going, keep going. And then once you're way up here, then you can have ejaculation if you choose or not to. And then you'll drop down, but you'll still be at a higher orgasmic state than you ever were down here, which is your traditional orgasm. And so then is what she's talking about being an orgasmic state. You don't just have an orgasm, you will be orgasmic, and you can ride this orgasmic wave, and it'll start to kind of climb a little bit, but then you make love, and you bring it back up again, and you go eat, and you go dance, and you go make love again, and then you know, eat, and go make love again. And you can continue riding this wave for hours. You know, you can literally be in an orgasmic state for hours. So, and it's not just a small orgasm. It's like, you know, take your best orgasm ever. Like, everyone do this at home if you're listening to. Go ahead and close your eyes and just imagine what my best orgasm was like ever. If you don't ever done Tantra. And then magnify it. Let's like multiply it by 2 as far as the intensity and the pressure and the excitement and just the energy moving through your body. And just see what that would be like doubled. And then just, again, with your eyes closed, imagine it doubling yet again. So now, like, you're 4 times your best orgasm ever. And then double it one more time. It's like 8. And it's like, now you're getting through, I was like, is that even possible? Like, I can't even imagine what that would be like. And you can't, because it's literally like opening up a realm of magic that we didn't know was possible. And then take that level of intensity and then double it one more time. And then take this intensity and then make it not last seconds or even minutes, but make it last 6, 8, 12 hours. And now you're in the realms of what we're talking about that just gets really crazy. And it's definitely worth trying. I mean, once you have that, you'll never go back. You know, it's like it makes other regular sex look like sneezing and so forth. And
it's true. Once tantrikas start learning how to transmute their sexual energy through their whole body and have a clear and open channel, there is no going back to the way things were before. It's just amazingness from that point onwards.
And the benefit of all that isn't just a great experience, is that when you move this level of energy into yourself and with your partner, then it creates all these other benefits we're talking about. You know, like it opens up your third eye. And one of the things that does is it makes you more psychic. And if you don't believe in psychic abilities, you know, it makes you more intuitive. You know, it makes you more aware of your environment. It makes you more present and available for people. And I don't think that can be disputed. It's kind of interesting. In our weekend, we take people, just regular people like you, and into the room, and we have these Tantra experiences. And at the end of it, we have like an experience where people get to see how psychic they are. And we have this psychic practice, and you'd be amazed. We get like 80-90% accuracy rates on these psychic activities. Like it shows us that basically we're all psychic. We're just not always tuned into it or like recognize it or trust it or something. So. Anyway,
yeah, so Tantra helps you to open up and tune into your psychic abilities. And everyone's at a different level and will experience different things and different ways of reading their intuition and ways of reading their spiritual guidance. And it's all perfect. But Tantra really does help to open it up and awaken it and help you to become a clearer channel to listening to your body and listening to what guidance you are receiving.
Yeah, and so in addition to that, let's see, there's dream learning. You know, sometimes people have lucid dreams and they have more lessons from their dreams. What are the other benefits of Tantra? And it's a spiritual path. You know, I'll probably end with this one. It's something that is sometimes, I don't know, it's profound and powerful in its own way. I don't care what your belief system is or what your religious thing is. What you will experience with Tantra is you'll have profound experiences that show you that your beingness, that your soul, if you will, or something about you, goes beyond your body. You know, you might have out-of-body experiences. You might have profound experiences with joy. You might feel a connection with like the universe or with Earth or with storms or, you know, with things that that you didn't know you could connect with. And you know, it's been pretty profound. I'll tell you another story about one of my experiences there in the future. But those are the benefits. So any questions from the listeners out there that we can answer? Any of the last minutes you want to say?
I think we described it pretty well.
Yeah. So this is what I suggest. We're going to show you a practice. At each one of these, we're going to give you a practice to take home and do with you. And what I also would like is for you to go ahead and take out a journal, or, you know, whenever you're out on these Tantra talks that we're going to do every week at this time, 6 to 6:30 on Facebook, go ahead and write down, any thoughts that come to you. So what I suggest you doing right now, and if you're with two people that are watching, you can face each other and actually talk. In classes, we usually say, like one person share for 2 minutes, the other person listens, and then the other person shares 2 minutes, the other person listens. But you can do all this with a journal at home. So go ahead and write down what are the benefits that you think you want to get out of Tantra. And you can go ahead and do that as soon as we close here. And thank you again. I see more of our friends are joining us. Does anyone have any questions out there that we can answer? If you do, this is your opportunity to ask. And then while you're doing that, you want to end with Aum, explain one of our practices?
Sure. So this is one of our favorite mantras that we like to teach people at all our events. It's the Aum mantra, Aum. And it is the feminine sound of creation. It's a mantra that excites divine feminine energy. And it is a mantra that helps us to integrate our hearts with the Ah, with our sex with the Oo, and our mind and spirit with the
That's what I was saying before. When you unite all three of these things, magic happens. In fact, our teacher said if they just do this, if the world just did the Aum mantra every day, it would be forever changed. So.
All right. So everybody, place your hand over your heart.
Oh, and sit up straight. Make sure your spine is straight for all of these, and you're sitting up on your chair.
All right. And we're going to start off with just one sound per breath. And as you make the sound, I want you to really feel and notice how it's vibrating in your body. So take in a deep breath.
If you're watching us at home, we want you to go ahead and do this too, so continue with us.
All right, move your hand down below your belly button toward your sex. Take in a deep breath and intone the sound ooh. Move your hand up to your forehead at your third eye. Take in a deep breath and intone the sound Now, in one complete breath, intone the sounds and we'll do it 3 times.
And we're going to use attentive deconcentration, meaning we're going to focus on all 3 at the same time. So as you're breathing and then we're saying these, you want to keep your mind focused on it. And please do this at home and notice how you feel now, and then check in with yourself and notice how you feel afterwards and see if you can feel a difference.
All right, deep breath.
Just take a second and notice how you feel. For me, it makes me feel more grounded, more relaxed. It's a great stress reliever. It's a great way to kind of get focused before going to a meeting. Notice I'm even talking different now. So that's it. So this is our first Tantra Talk. We're going to be here again every week. Feel free to ask us questions, and you can even provide us topics that you'd like us to discuss. And we are excited to be here and connect with you virtually every week. Anything else you have to say?
That's it.
All right. Bye-bye.
See y'all next time.